You're this perp back with another video, and I just got done watching Spider-Man Far From Home, the second movie in the MCU version of Spider-Man. And this will be my non-spoiler review of the movie. You can follow me on Twitter at PerpMinded. You can hit that like button if you enjoyed this movie or enjoyed this video. Hit that sub button if you're brand new. Help me get to 300 subs. That'd be much appreciated. But let's get right into this review. I'm gonna just tell you how I felt about this movie off jump, what I liked, what I didn't like, and we could just go through certain characters and whatnot. So, this is the follow-up film to Endgame. I don't know exactly the time frame which this takes place, but this just pretty much takes place after Endgame, and they do explain something I had an issue with in Endgame about like the disappearance of people, the people that disappeared, that got snapped pretty much, and what happened with the people that stayed here. The people that stayed here didn't get snapped, they aged, but the people that got snapped back, they stayed the same. Really interesting stuff there. What they play with the that event that occurred, the snap, which they call the blurp. The blurp, yeah, I think they call it the blurp. But they kind of explain that we get introduced to Mysterio pretty early in the film, and for the people that read the comic books or just watch the animated series or just seen Mysterio and know what he's about, you already know right off the bat that he's lying. So it's really interesting to see how it all plays out, because they hit a lot out of the trailer. The trailer is pretty much like half the movie, and the rest is its own thing. I like the story. The story was okay. It wasn't nothing mind-blowing. It's your typical kind of Spider-Man type of story. I couldn't really complain about that, but I still think this movie did some fun things, especially with Mysterio being the main villain. I know Chameleon was supposed to be in this, but I didn't really see him, or he was just in there and they just didn't mention him. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. I really liked how this movie kind of tackles Peter dealing with the passing of, Tony Stark, and trying to fill those shoes, because it's running into his head like, oh, I got to be the next Iron Man, but he's stuck in between being still being a teen in high school and having to be an Avenger at the same time. It's kind of getting to him, and I like how they show that in this movie. It gives the movie a lot more depth. Now, there was some sloppy things, things that I felt were a little bit sloppy, but that would be kind of a spoiler. I don't really want to get into that, but I enjoyed what they did with Peter Parker in this movie. I thought they explained a lot of things pretty well. They explained his spider senses. They call it something else in this. It's pretty funny. It's really cool, and I like that this movie has a lot going for it. It did a lot. It does a good job of setting up for what's next, and it's definitely going to be interesting going forward to see what they do with a sequel of this movie. But yeah, let's talk about Mysterio, because Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, was very interesting by the casting choice, and seeing it play out, I was very pleased. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Like, Marvel can produce some good villains, but they end up doing the either or with that villain. He's too good to stick around, so they got to get rid of him, or they're so bad that they gotta keep them around anyways. And you know, I say Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio was a really good villain in this. Really brought some different elements to Spider-Man that we haven't seen on the big screen, like his illusions, his power overall. And I like the flip that they do with it. I won't spoil that, but definitely go check out this movie. I thought they did a pretty good job with this Spider-Man movie. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world. Maybe it's just because I've seen so many in such a small time frame. Like, in this decade alone, we've gotten about 4 Spider-Man movies. That's pretty crazy. And we have the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, and Far From Home. It's a lot of Spider-Man to take in, man. But I'm definitely interested to see a sequel. I want them to see certain characters flesh out. I want to see this universe get a little bit darker, and I feel like it's going to go in that direction. Hopefully. We're just going to wait to see the 3rd Spider-Man movie in this franchise. And I think that one will be even bigger than this one. If the rumors are true and Venom is going to be in that one, I think it's going to be something interesting indeed. But definitely go check out this movie. What do you guys think about this movie? If you've seen this movie already, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, like I said, solid MCU movie, solid Spider-Man movie. Could they fix certain things? Yes, like any other movie. But yeah, I didn't hate the movie. It was just okay to me. They set up some interesting things that I want to see play out in the future. But yeah, that's all I have to say with this review. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. And I'll check y'all out in the next video. Peace.
When I was young, I thought that success was all I needed. That's what was gonna bring the happiness. Buying my mom a house, being the fame, the accolades, having people say, yo, you are the best in the game. I thought those would be the things that would bring happiness. And then when those things came, the happiness wasn't there. And I realized why that was. There was such an attempt to achieve these things and to keep going that you lose sight of the people and the blessings that you have around.